3, 4 steps I take from my bed to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Will today be rough or will today be great? 9, 10, 11, 12. Lately I've been going through hell. 13, 14, 15, 16. Today's the day. Are you coming? Are you I'm sick of being normal, I'm sick of being average, I'm sick of being mortal, I'm about to be a savage. I see a lot of things that I want, I will have them. I got a new mindset that I just established. I'll march through the cold with the nails on the pavement. I'll shovel that coal just to get out the basement. My story will be told, helping others make changes. I'll be so bold, they will watch in amazement.
Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
Foot up on the pedal, pushing hard to the metal. Make a deal with the devil, channel rage through my vessels into something that is special. Energy of a rebel, going up a level. I just wanna be greatness, I can feel changes. Turn a new page and tie up my laces. I will be the bravest, break out of my cages. I will not be nameless, I will not be aimless.
Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
Hey, what is going on? What is going on? We back in the building. What's up, Locked In Nation? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, episode 196. Welcome back, George Mecaj, Georgie, aka G Money, back in the building. What's up, brother?
What's going on, guys? How y'all feeling today? What's up, bro? Happy 2 days after Christmas.
I know, man. In the final stretch here before the new year, man. 2025, right around the corner. Here we come, man. New year.
Right. About to be a whole new year soon, man. It's a lot of important events going to happen.
Yes, sir. There's we got a good content schedule lined up. I'm excited for that into January, but tonight's episode is going to be a good one too. I think we did actually an episode on role models for men, father figures and stuff before. But with the whole light of this whole Travis Hunter thing that's going on, like I'm not here to bash the kid or anything like that. I don't know him personally, and just from what I've seen though, it's a good opportunity for an episode on the need for strong male role models, for sure. This comes from a young age, so this could be from the family or in school. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that tonight. Probably keep it about 45 minutes, and we'll also talk a little bit on self-respect here too, because that kind of comes with it, right? Having self-respect for yourself. And being a strong, rational, accountable man in this life. So comes with a lot of different things. But welcome back in, man. Happy to have you back.
Thank you, bro. Being good to be back here, man. It definitely feels good. Like all time. This is definitely a good topic. So kind of interesting to see what the perspective is and to dive a little more into this kind of stuff. We've talked about things in the past. There's a lot of guys out there, like we talked about, that these girls that are girls that either sort of like want to get a ball or an athlete or get impregnated by one of them. Sometimes girls, unfortunately get passed around, and it's just how it is in this kind of industry.
Yeah, yeah, and I know the word simping gets passed around a lot too. Coming to talking about women get passed around, the word simp gets passed around a lot too.
Gets
So obviously,
overused.
there's a lot of people on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. A lot of these platforms are pretty much calling this dude a simp, and a lot of his actions kind of dictate that. Kind of like a simping is like another word for someone who's like, I don't want to say like low value, but it's like someone who essentially like over ego, people pleaser for women. Essentially, like they go over the top, trying to over please women,
They
and essentially
overplease people.
pedestalize. Obviously women can get that quote too that they simp for a man, but that's not typical. It's more so a man who over pedestalizes a woman, and a
That's
lot of it
true.
comes from lack of self respect. It's a big thing that kind of causes that. Not a lot of confidence in oneself, I would say, because when you're confident in yourself, you don't do that. You're always gonna kind of love yourself, more, first and foremost. So you don't tolerate that type of disrespect towards yourself when you love yourself. So,
Right.
you know, yeah. So just from a rational male side, I just want to kind of I'll break that down tonight, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, you're not already subscribed, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, turn those notifications on. Release new content every single week. It's either related to personal development or sports. If you like any of that content, you don't want to miss that. If you're on Facebook, I appreciate you. I'm assuming you're already part of the group, so thank you. But definitely Facebook or YouTube. Still comment down below tonight. We'll put you'll see the live chat. It'll come up on the screen as we go through. Let me just make sure that is set up. It should be. We got the widgets here. Let me put that in there.
Progress,
Yeah, and let's get the widgets. Yep, everything's checked off. So we'll see. There's a chat box that's going to be showing in there, and as we kind of go through, we'll be able to see your comments. We had a good amount of comments last week and the week before, so I do understand it is a Friday night. We used to do these Friday night episodes every once in a while, man. So it's first time I've done a Friday night one in a while, but with the holiday, a little tough to go right after. So yesterday was a little bit tough.
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, guys, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the pod. So we will jump in right now. Thanks for rocking with us tonight on Friday. So I think when it comes to male role models, strong male role models in life, it starts at a very it can start at a very early age, right, inside the family. There's the obvious implications of growing up without a father. Obviously, like, young men don't choose that. It's not a decision for them to make, but the statistics do obviously indicate when a young boy doesn't have a father in his life, it correlates with a higher likelihood of delinquency, right? Or acting up or acting out, and then yeah. If they don't tend to have, and it doesn't even need to be just a father in the life. Do they have an uncle? Do they have a coach? Do they have, maybe a male teacher in their life? Somebody that can help guide them and show them what actual masculinity and what acting like a real man is. Because a lot of times, right, a lot of times if they don't have that, the good thing is we do have a lot of media nowadays, so you can look up these things. But it forces young boys to turn to media to kind of understand, to find the answers to what the question of what an actual man looks like. And there might be a problem though with that. And the one thing I'll say is with the media, right? When you look up online what it means to act like a real man, what does it show you? It's probably going to show you like a strong figure, right? Like Superman or like like a strong masculine type of man, right? Like it's going to show him what muscles and all this stuff. But the thing about like it doesn't tell you is actually a lot of things with men. They don't talk. They're not direct. They're not direct about certain insecurities they may have in their life. They may feel they can't say anything or talk a certain way, and that's mainly because of the fact that the stigma is that men don't talk about those things. Men can't open up about those things. I would say that's actually incorrect. I do say a lot of times, right, it's good to have a good circle around you because you can talk to your boys about that. You can also talk to your woman about it. What they do say is, open up too much. That's what you got your boys for certain things. And then there's certain things, obviously, you open up to your wife, your girlfriend, whatever. But, it kind of leads them to turn to the media, man. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on that, but I think it's very, very important for men to have strong male role models in their life, even if it's not a father, some other point like an uncle, a coach, teacher.
I agree with them, and they also say that, like like you said, if a man grows up without a father, a lot of things will go wrong. I mean, delinquency, violence, drugs, gangs, acting up, being bad in school, not having a father figure, not having experience of growing up with a man in his life with a father. A mom and a dad are very important, possibly a lot of things they say, even other correlations like sometimes you become too feminine because you don't have somebody to kind of show you a little bit, the root of how being a man, but not necessarily being tough, just being like life smart, being wise, and being tough, being strong, being gentle, being a gentleman, knowing how to carry yourself, knowing how to act in your friendships and all. Your mom can show you a lot of things, but your father is very important too. Like you just said earlier, he's influential. So sometimes, and sometimes it can lead to a lot of things, everything from not being able to, to hold a job or be a cannibal or be able to, break through in life or have good relationships or, with women, sometimes it can be bad, irresponsible, drinking, you know what I mean? Drugs. And a lot of it's got to do with like not having a parent, primarily the father, like you said. And for girls, it's also could be, sometimes bad. A lot of times girls, that, don't end up the right way. Sometimes, a lot of times, don't have a father in their life. That's also a proven fact too. There's actually been studies on this. There's been research done. You can find a little bit everywhere. Really, not to get into sucked into that too much, but like you said, it's important. And honestly, bro, also if you want to be honest with ourselves, a lot of times guys that don't have a father in life are more likely to become simps, if we want to be honest, than sissy boys.
Yep,
Like
yep, very
they're the ones
feminine
with the
and not
plastic
and like
ring.
not yep, not self-respecting at all.
Not enough discipline, respect. Well, confidence, it comes with respect. Like you got to respect yourself to build something, to know that you're good. And it's not being cocky or you know detrimental to yourself or condescending, even or talking too much. It's just you knowing what you can do, and the less you talk, the more you do. You just got to study the situation. Try to be good for yourself and others. Carry yourself well. A lot of these things come with with sometimes somebody showing you, but you learn over time. But it's important that role models and good mentors and good friends as well, father figures, good bros in life, good brothers, dogs for life. But you got to be like your real dogs, the guys that can show you, not those guys that want to BS around and just they're not doing anything in life. Because sometimes they can
Yep,
mess you
men
up
that are
too.
going to call you
Sometimes
out.
you end up being funny. Yeah, you do. You end up being a kind of like just like a friend pleaser, like you said, a pedestalizer. Like a guy just puts everyone on a pedestal too much. A guy that just chases women way too much. A guy that just chase the high and the feeling like you want to be a player way too much and you do stupid crap, stupid shit. But it's like, yeah, I gotta. I think that's kind of my perspective a little too. That it's important to kind of like try to be grew up a certain way. Everybody gonna make mistakes. Sometimes people that went through a lot and did mistakes, even went through it and got caught up in, into like some delinquency stuff, but learned. Those guys, can tell you don't do that, but go this way. Like study hard, get a job, do the right thing in life, get a car, get a house, get a nice loan, and pay it back or something. But don't get caught up in the BS. Don't go out there looking for clout. Don't get caught up, in a negative stuff,
Exactly.
or don't be like,
Yep.
don't be a simp. Because sometimes you get played, bro. And if you give kids with the wrong person too, like some people that we know in the NBA and in the NFL,
Can make your life a living hell. Plain and
it could be
simple. It
better.
could it could almost ruin your life, man. Ruin your life. It's one of the biggest choices is deciding the person you decide to lay with and have children with. Huge. This goes both sides, right? This goes men and women. Depending who you go to who you decide to lay with or who you decide to marry or have kids with is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make in your life. So do it very, very wisely and vet correctly. But I will say this too. Great points there, George. Great points. That's the emphasis on strong male role models, right? Yeah, like you have your brothers around you too, right? Strong men around you who are going to hold you accountable, because that's the thing. You can also have guy friends that don't actually display actual masculinity. It happens a lot, and there's a lot of friends you might have who are guys, right? By nature they're actually men, but they're not actually men in terms of actually masculine men who uphold solid standards and solid principles and solid values. Real friends or real men around each other. We hold each other accountable, right? We hold ourselves to a certain standard because we want to see each other. We want to bring out the best in each other, and we want to see each other do the best. So,
Correct.
we're fucking around and doing fucked up shit. Sometimes we might not want to hear it, right? We don't want to hear the words, but in the moment we don't, but we appreciate it later because we're keeping it real with one another. It's very important because I'm gonna be honest, like you're right on the terms of simping, George. If you have strong male friends around you, they're gonna call you out if you're around simping and pedestalizing a woman. You know what I mean? They're gonna call you out on it. They're gonna be like, "Yo, bro, what's going on here, man? You're fucking up." You know what I mean? Like, it seems like you're really pedestalizing this woman. You got to have some self-respect for yourself, and we're concerned for you. They're gonna call it out. They're gonna have it direct. They're gonna be direct. They're gonna be honest. They're gonna be open about it, and they know it might hurt their friend in the process at the time, but they're doing it for their own, well-being.
Right.
Very
That's
important.
a fact.
Very
That's a fact.
Yeah. This kind of all links to the Travis Hunter thing. So, guys, if you don't know who Travis Hunter is, he's a football player for Colorado. He's going to be going to the NFL. Let's put it that way. He's just got a big deal with I believe it was Adidas.
He's the hot shot.
He's a big name on block. Kid's talented as hell. Kid's talented. But if you guys don't know, there's a whole thing going around with Travis Hunter. Google his name. He's been dating this girl for about 5 years, and there's a lot of different podcasts she's been on. She's essentially like disrespecting this guy, disrespecting this kid. And I don't personally know the kid, so the word simping gets thrown around a lot, as I said. But it just comes off as disrespect to oneself. A lot of lack of respect, like lack of self-respect.
Right. Not enough self-respect.
This girl has gone
value.
Yeah. This girl has gone on multiple streams. I could maybe even towards the end pull up some clips. I think I should be okay to do that. I don't think I'll get anything will happen for that or get any shut down. But I'll play some clips towards the end here if I can find some. There's multiple clips of this girl. She's going on podcast saying him and her together. And she said that first he wasn't my type, and then later on, apparently her brother had told her, "What are you doing? Do you know who he is?" All this stuff. And she wound up actually getting into a relationship with him and giving him a chance. Apparently, after all this, there's stories of him driving her to parties, hanging out with other dudes and other women. And he sits and waits in the car for her. Doesn't go in with her as her man. None of that stuff. She makes him wait in the car. He sits in the car and waits for her. I'm sorry, but I'm not just driving my girl to a party and sitting out in the car while she's in there in another spot with a bunch of girls, a bunch of dudes. At the same time, it's weird. Like, why are you even driving her there at that point? Like, I mean, some women might say that's insecure. Yeah, it's not even insecure. It's just a principle. Like, you gotta have standards, you gotta have boundaries. You're literally sitting and waiting in a car for your girl going to a party, and you're just sitting there in the car. From the outside looking in, that just looks like total lack of respect for oneself. There's other ones where he had his Heisman game. He had a big game, final game in college. Huge statistic game for him, and everyone's celebrating him. And his girl's on the sideline, and she's sour and complaining, and making the whole situation about her. Now, from what I heard, she didn't like the way he looked at certain cheerleaders or something like that. Even if that is the case, at the end of the day, that's his moment. That's something you discuss behind the scenes. You don't outright disrespect your man in public like that. That's my 2 cents on it. Is you don't outright disrespect like that. That's something you chat behind the scenes in private. Y'all handle your business like that. What's your thoughts on that, man?
I agree.
That's how I see it.
I feel you. I feel you. I mean, don't have to have a fixie fit about things right then and there. And if she does, it'll be his job to kind of try to calm his woman down and be like, let's just talk about it after. Sometimes girls don't want to be talked to, so it could be a little tough at the moment. But the best thing to do is not to make a scene outside and trying to figure something out behind the scenes. But I agree with you. Like that's kind of like what I was thinking, the same thing a little bit. But when you're like at that level, bro, and a lot of these women like you, and there's gonna be a lot of girls that come and their intention is not the right one because they want money, they want fame, because they see like the future too a little bit. They're smart, they know like, oh, he's gonna be the star, he's gonna be in the NFL, no matter what, to make some kind of money. And I mean, it counts with territory, you know what I mean? Fame, a lot of girls, but the intent, and sometimes they're not really there for you, and a lot of times you end up marrying him, but he doesn't work out. Or these guys, again, they simp and they give him too much at once. You gotta get to know somebody, not somebody you met like a year ago. You started dating them 6 months because you met at a cool party and she's hot. I mean, that's fine, but don't rush into anything.
Exactly. You should never rush. Never rush. Take it checking Facebook to make sure there ain't no comments coming through. Yeah, don't rush into it. Take your time, vet correctly. You hit the nail on the head there. With that comment. I was gonna say there's some other outside things. So this is just on my those are things that I'm kind of catching as I've gone through and done my research on this whole situation. There's another one where he signed with Adidas, he got a big deal, and there were a lot of people that it was a meet and greet, right? So there's women meeting them, guys meeting them, and she just sitting there with her arms crossed, complaining, saying, "Do I have to sit here all day, like, and listen to this and see this?" The ungratefulness, like your man's about to get put on. Yeah, it seems like she wants the fame for herself and wants the spotlight. It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. The ungratefulness. It's like at the end of the day, this kid could get rid of her and be able to find someone else real easily. There's even jokes. You know who Deion Sanders is, right?
Yeah.
Deion Sanders, yeah, former NFL. So they call him Prime. You know, Deion Sanders, aka Prime. He's a coach of Colorado. Yeah.
He was talking about
he's a coach over there.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah. So they addressed it. They were all in a room, and there's other scenarios too. They were on a podcast, and even he made a joke about a prenuptial. He's like, "Yo, get a prenup," all this stuff. But he was like, "Yeah, I'm at the time get a prenup." But at the end of the day, he came off as like he was joking. But these things have like made jokes have happened. These jokes have come up a lot. So you can tell, like, I think that he's trying to get this across to him. However, I don't think, at the end of the day, this dude's going to grow a man. He's going to make his own decisions. And sometimes we got to learn through heartbreak, man. Sometimes we got to learn through tough shit. He might be setting himself up for heartbreak. Maybe not. But I'm not going to lie. The signs don't look good. The signs do not look good. This kid's getting roasted in his relationship. Rightfully so. I'm like,
how old is that?
You got to kind of.
Real quick, not to cut you off, but how old is he?
Let me see what his actual age is.
Because he might be a little young in the game, and it might not be his main girl to begin with. Because when you're in college or fresh out of college, especially if you're fresh out of high school, but fresh out of college, still, there's time for him, to improve, and maybe he could possibly find another girl too if it doesn't work out with his chick. But if it's really like you're saying, man, things are going. She seems really ungrateful.
Yeah, he's 21, but here's the problem, right? He might make this. Yeah, he might make this mistake though, but the problem, what it is he's about to get this big deal in the NFL and all this stuff. And if he marries and has kids with this woman early on, she could take everything from him, at least from the financial aspect of it.
Yeah, it could be.
Some people,
you gotta be careful.
Yeah. So some people say like, "Oh, money's not everything." Yeah, but you got to protect your wealth and your well-being. You know what I mean? You got to protect your assets. It's just how it is. You don't just come in and let this woman come in and steal everything from you and take all your assets, everything you worked hard for with your talent. But this just goes back to having strong role models. I mean, this kid must not have people around him that are, more in his head, telling, or not in his head, but in his corner.
And he said like in his corner, right?
Yeah,
helping them, advising them well, guiding them the way it should be. Just good people around you. People that can drop game on you, basically help you out. Make life easier.
Yeah. No,
but you know what it is, though, Steve. He must have yes men too.
He must. I'm not sure if this is what he's seen in the family dynamic. I don't really know the mother and the father and everything, or maybe the mom was very domineering and the dad was very passive. So if that's the case, maybe he saw it in the household. But he does have. He does have Coach Deion Sanders down his corner. I know he's probably a strong role model. I mean, I don't know.
He's one good person to have your corner, but sometimes it's not enough, though.
Yeah, even in his acceptance speech, apparently she had been told by Deion Sanders to kind of like nudge her, just like, "Yo, stand up," like, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. This doesn't just even go on. Just think about this too, bro. It doesn't even just start in the family, right? It starts in school too. Just think about this. I was looking at this. Yeah, I was looking at statistics. Most teachers are female, right? Most teachers are women, especially during kindergarten, elementary school, the developmental years of school. So what that means is boys in today's world, they spend the majority of their day in school. They have less exposure to a range of grown men in that environment. Like they actually display masculine traits. So just think about that from the developmental stage, a lot of women teachers, especially in the younger teaching grades. Like maybe college and high school, it's a little different, but just thinking your developmental years, you spend most of your day in school with women. It's just how it is. But that's all the more importance for having strong male role models outside of that.
Right. Sometimes, I mean, yeah, you might have a male teacher here and there, but mostly I would say after like fourth, fifth grade, you have more male teachers. Like middle school and high school. In elementary, it's primarily female, but you might have a male. Like I think I had like a male music teacher in elementary. But you're right, though. It is definitely your formative years, even as far as a child. So psychologically, that's when you develop too. But that's a good point, Steve. That's definitely good insight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just it's how it is. So they essentially, when you have that, it's different ways. They don't really get to, again, you have to kind of look to the media for answers. You don't really see. So if you don't have a father in the household, then you're going to school. You have your mother, maybe your sister's raising you, and then you're going to school with female teachers. It's just the less opportunity to be exposed to strong men. It's very, very important though to have that. You're also influenced by our friends, right? But as I said earlier, doesn't just because you have male friends does not necessarily mean that they're solid role models. Say like you grow up in a group of men who watch porn consistently, or they speak in condescending ways about women, right? Sometimes people think that's masculine. Fuck her, fuck this, blah blah. That makes them. It's not actually the case. They don't really get to see even if they do technically have a father in the household. Maybe their father comes home and he's exhausted from work. He doesn't actually spend a lot of time with his child, especially in the developmental years. What it'll ultimately leave you to do is you're gonna have to work on yourself a lot more later in life, right? As you become an adult and you never really understood what it was to be a strong masculine man. It actually makes you do the work 10 times harder when you become an adult, because reality hits you eventually no matter what. You either do the work or you stay a complacent simp or you stay a complacent you stay stagnant exactly as a man. It's just how it is. You either have to do the work or you just give up and you live a life a certain way, and it's just facts. But it takes time. It takes more time and more work later on in life when reality does hit, because reality eventually comes knocking, and it doesn't pull any punches. So you're eventually going to get reality when you become an adult.
Comes a time where you just can't keep doing the same stupid shit, bro. And you just can't. I mean, even as far as like in terms of like being overvaluing people too much and being too nice and setting simp ways and all that, you gotta change. There's times you can't change. People definitely have turned things around and turned your tide, but I mean, you just can't fall for the tricks, and be those guy, a type of guy that just depends on women too much. Like even like the way Alpha Male Strategist talks about it, Mo from Virginia, from Alabama and shit.
Yeah,
he says that be comfortable being on your own, and not because you're alone doesn't mean you're lonely. Doesn't mean you're like always alone. You might live alone, but your folks come visit you, your parents, your other people, your friends, your significant other. If you don't live together, for example, that's what my neighbor is. He's got in his own spot, got 2 nice cars. His parents came for Christmas and all. They come often. He's got a girlfriend somewhere like that, But I mean, he comes, he's on his own, chills. 10:30, he's in the house, bro. Why would you be on the night too much, man? Trust me. All these other shit people do too much. Always going out every night doing all that. Sometimes that's also being a simp. When you have to chase too much, you chase the energy, you chase the women too much, you chase the streets.
Yeah, I'd say
chase women.
I'd say it depends on what you're chasing. Yeah, chasing too much of anything can actually be bad. Look, I understand. You grind for your business, good or bad, but but chasing too much of anything can be a problem. Yeah.
Facts. Yeah.
But you're right. There's a lot of people out in the streets and stuff like that too. It all comes down to self-respect. And the thing is, if you're doing a lot of positive things in life, you're making solid moves and you're growing, you would think, right, that what that's going to do is that's going to make you have more self-respect for yourself. And while that helps, it's not always necessarily the case. I'm going to be honest, because look at Travis Hunter, right? He's young, but he's an athlete. He's in really, really good shape. He's going to be making solid money. The guy's on the up and up, right? He's growing in his life, and this is at 21 years old. But the thing about it is you can tell that with the situation, it doesn't necessarily mean he has a lot of self-respect for himself.
Right. Too much.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah, it helps to be making solid moves, but your mindset still has to be correct. And what I mean by is how you deal with people. If you grow up and you're in a people pleaser mentality, it's not going to matter. You're pedestalizing something. How you communicate and how you develop in the relationships around you, if that makes sense. How you essentially, because this could be with not just a girl, but maybe it's with other friends. Like he has certain friends where he tries to, simp up to or people please for. But sometimes
not your way.
It just happens with women too. Sometimes it happens with women. If it's your first girlfriend, you haven't been through heartbreak, you sit there and you're desperate and you come off that way. You know what I mean? How you communicate and how you deal with the relationships around you is very important. Just because you have money, just because you're in the best shape of your life, those things can bring confidence. However, there's a third element, and the third element is in personal development. It's not just money, and it's not just your health. It's those relationships. How do you handle relationships around you? It's self-respect. A lot of that comes into it. How we communicate, how we handle ourselves. And if we weren't taught how to do that, how to have emotional control and different things, things to work on later in life. This is like, look at this kid. He's got a lot of things going for him, but
right. Well, having things going on for you doesn't mean that you got to like you haven't gone on for you, but do you got to go on? Okay, sure you do, but is your mind right? Are you making the right choices, or are you too young and immature and too much like you think you know it all? Because a lot of guys again have yes men, have people that can't tell them the truth. They're too scared to tell them because they want to lose their job. There are people in the media, there are people that are close to them, their accountant, their PR. But don't forget, there's also a public relation team there too, But they're not going to tell them nothing because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about a lot of times. They're just like there to keep your image a certain way. There's the recruiters, there's the sponsors and the deals. What do you call them? The endorsements. So especially if you're if you're a player and you're a baller, like when you're like a soccer player, baseball player, hockey, all that, hockey, baseball, football, soccer, basketball. In this case, he's a full player. There's always going to be the options there. So it's like you said, man, you got to be emotionally kind of ready and mentally ready. If he's not quite ready, at least it's like on the way there. But it's like when it comes to making choices of women too, that's a whole different scenario. And that's kind of what we're talking about. But also it's like you said, because it's like what you do in life, bro, can lead on to the next thing you're doing. So it's important that what you're doing, you stay consistent and focused. And also how you do one thing, you do a lot of things. So I mean, if you're just bad with money or bad with management, or you don't know how to keep relations, you don't know how to communicate, how to be accountable, to be ready, prepared, on time on big meetings, how to be on time, how to communicate with people, how to return calls, how to not hard to get a hold, how to reach. Okay, we're busy, everybody's busy, you get that, but I'm saying sometimes some people just don't answer the phone for nothing, sometimes it could be detrimental, and sometimes these athletes are like that too, they admit it. And I think again, I hate to say it like that, but I mean sometimes they're just suckers for love, and they're just kind of like, sometimes it could be that way too. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but Hunter, it's a little different, but Travis for sure Hunter, but sometimes, man, it's just like they don't make the right choices because they're just get a little too emotional. And it happens to a lot of even I'm sure me and you had some situation where we're younger too. Now being that we're slightly older and some of these guys are 21, 22, we know a little more about the game. But these guys will go and find their way too, man. And they're smart. They'll find a way out. They'll find the right one, possibly a couple of breakups. Worst case scenario, nothing better. She leaves them, but it's like, if they don't necessarily leave, each other, it's like they'll be together for a little bit, but he might find out the hard way, or he'll be smart, and eventually, if he doesn't see a future with her, because he could get a lot of girls at some point. These NFL guys, man, to my knowledge, a lot of these relationships don't last very, very long, especially they're early on in his career, in the player's career. Women come and go for these guys.
Yeah, they do. It's I think it just all stems from stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you over pursue a female, you pedestalize her, all these different things, it may come from lack of affection when you were younger. It starts in the household, could start throughout your adolescence, throughout your life in school.
Could be a lot of things.
Maybe you weren't getting some bit of attention. Then when a pretty attractive woman gives you a little bit of attention, we tend to, those men that tend to pedestalize, right?
Could also be another real quick to add on what you just said. I'm gonna give you the floor again, but it could also be like sometimes I hate to say it this way, but sometimes you grow up a certain way, like you don't really get a lot of women coming up, or you don't know how to go on like important like meetings, dates, and meet up with girls, attract cute girls in your life or beautiful girls. Maybe one or two that are kind of okay, but it depends also by standards. So, some people got other standards. Some standards are up here. You know what I'm saying? So, but like it just depends on where his experience has been at. So maybe he just gets a cute girl, she's very beautiful, but he might not see. He might be a little naive, possibly, or he might be a little young in the game. He might, oh well, this is the one, and she's not really the one. And then the right one comes, and he might leave this one possibly, or the right one comes, and God, by some kind of miracle, they just kind of like split go their own way, and that's what happens. What we could say is for sure that he's getting famous. It's picking up traction, and the story on Facebook and social media and IG. So it's a little bit of a topic of the town a little bit, and it's nothing new because a lot of these athletes. Wasn't a girl? What was her name? Brittany Reiner. Remember the girl you told me about? That I was checking her out on some of her IG and some stuff on YouTube that she would go baseball players. Brittany Reiner, basketball players. She would kind of like sleep around with a couple of them too.
Yeah. She had a kid with PJ Washington. She had a kid with PJ Washington. Yeah, and
I remember that. I remember hearing about that too.
Yeah, she's been on a lot of podcasts, but to the Travis Hunter thing, hopefully he recognizes. Obviously we're just outside looking in. You know what I mean? But for me, it comes to just from my observations. It comes to me from just an observant nature. She's not there for the correct reasons, and he has to kind of hold her in check there. And if he does, you know what I mean, you'll get to kind of see the reaction. You'll see how it is, and if she is very much opposed to that, it kind of tells you everything you need to know. But it starts with an honest conversation. It starts with, this comes from anybody, right? Men and women have to respect one another. And then you need to give respect as well. So, as you receive it, you need to give it. So, it seems like this kid goes above and beyond. But you know what? That doesn't always give you respect. You know what I mean? You go above and beyond for somebody. Essentially, it allows you to get walked on. We have to have boundaries. We have to draw them. We have to be upfront. We have to be direct. If you don't allow that, the longer that behavior goes on, the longer you decide to not cut that out, the more people are not going to respect you. It happens from any relationship. It doesn't just happen to be, a man being in a relationship with a woman and pedestalizing her. It happens also in friendships. You get walked on in friendships as well because you don't know how to say no. You don't know how to speak up for yourself. It happens in your family. It happens all the time. People please inside the family dynamic. It happens in school.
Business,
that's why
families,
I said,
big family hierarchies, all that.
Yeah, that's why I said you could be making moves, and this kid is best shape of his life, top shape. He's going to be making really, really good money, on his purpose, doing all these great things. And while that's great and that will help you with self-respect and self-confidence, is not the end-all be-all. You still have to understand how to essentially how to keep your frame in check. You have to understand how to act in relationships around you. So with friends, with family,
right. Be able to adapt and, like you said, deal with everybody different or the same. But in a relationship with your girl though, or a girl like you've seen, he definitely should be more set a boundary more and let her know, where his mind is at and what he wants to do there. You can't just let a girl come in too quickly, especially if you're becoming famous and you're kind of already established and financially you're ready and you're, actually to the next stage, you're getting signed. The NFL wants you, they keep knocking at your door. First thing should not be about a girl that just wants to latch on to you or talk to you. If you already got a girl you're talking to, it's a different story. Which should be for the fame. After the fame, I would be very careful. You know what I mean? I would just be more selective. I would say.
You have to protect your assets, man. You have to protect your kingdom, man. You got to protect your assets.
Right. He's got his brand now. He's got his, he's got every right to do what he's got to do. You got to be bold enough. 15 with all these guys, like these rappers and all that. You got a girl or a significant other or a girlfriend or wife and all. But sometimes they cheat. If you're gonna cheat around, that's one thing. But that's not right. But it's like all these guys that come and sometimes they fall for some of these girls and things get destroyed. Groups got destroyed because of this. Music has gone, the wrong way. Athletes, they threw their life away. Rappers' careers are destroyed because of a woman or toxic friends or yes men around, like you just said. So the entourage, who you keep around, is very important. There's this one guy on YouTube talks about this too.
Yeah, there's a book I read.
Dr.
There's a book I read years ago, and it's still one of my favorites. It's called Relentless by Tim Grover. Yeah, so Tim was a trainer with he trained he worked with Michael Jordan. He worked with Dwayne Wade. He worked with
Kobe, right?
Kobe Bryant. Yeah, he worked. Yeah, he worked with a lot of the athletes over there. Even Charles Barkley. So Tim Grover, he's a no nonsense dude. Essentially, like if people don't want to follow his program, get the fuck out. I don't give a hell. I don't give a fuck if you're Michael Jordan. I don't give a fuck if you're Charles Barkley. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if you're LeBron James. Get the hell out. So he's a kinesiologist. All these different things. He works with sports medicine.
Yeah, I think we talked about it one time. We were mentioning that like he was very strict and like you have to make sure you're serious. You're very disciplined and super professional because he was very demanding as a coach and as a trainer. But I mean, he also helped produce some of the greatest talents that we've seen in the NBA and some of the top sports. You know what I mean? It's like he's like one of the top sports trainers for sure.
Yeah. And he's got a famous saying because he would say a lot of these athletes would have these crazy entourages around him, going back to your entourage point. And he would say a lot of these guys that they didn't have the best interest of, the superstar, the athlete at mind. And he knew it.
They were just leeching.
He could call them out. Yeah, they were leeches. He would actually call them PhDs, right? Like almost like a degree, right? A PhD. But he would say it would stand for professional holders of dicks. Essentially, they just sit around. They're holding the athlete's dick. That's all they're doing. Like they're not there for anything. They're there to leash off the success of the athlete, and they don't offer anything of value. So he would actually tell them
right away, but just leave spotlight a little bit, right?
Yeah, and he would say when training was going on and stuff, he'd tell them to get the hell out of there. Even make themselves useful. Either make themselves useful or get the hell out of there. I'm not gonna let you sit around here and just all this bullshit.
You pay somebody or somebody hangs out around you, asks them to hang out with you, to pretend to be cool, and they don't got your best interest at heart. And a lot of times you're paying for like hotels and all that and everything else, so they get like a little free ride as it is and some food and drinking and all that. But like it's almost like you said, like what the hell, like what are they there for? So yeah,
what's their purpose, right?
That's so funny. What did he call them? Leeches? No, he called them
PhDs. PhDs, professional holders of dicks.
Professional holders of dicks. It's funny as shit.
Literally. Because they just sit there, essentially professional dick holders. They just sit there. They're just holding the jock they're leeching up the money pile. But he said those are the same type of guys that if you went broke tomorrow, they're not
water boys.
Yeah, essentially they're the same guys though. If you go broke tomorrow, they're not going to be around. They're going to be out.
Oh no, they're only there to eat off your wave and eat off you when you're doing well. When you're not doing well, they're nowhere to be found. They start being more and more hard to find, and don't call the phone no more, don't answer the phone now. It's a lot of people that do a lot of funny shit, bro. And people don't really give you best interest at heart. People sometimes take your time and your energy from you. And if you're an athlete, they want to be around you. If you're a famous person, they want to, again, mostly because of the lifestyle. I think it attracts a lot of these kind of people too.
Yeah. 50 Cent said in his book, he said, when he was with the label and like people who knew him, right? They'd be like, yo, 50, put me on, man. Put me on. Do this. Help me out with this. Put my name here. Let me get some money here. But they would never come to him with, hey, 50, here's what I can do for you. Like, can you put me on? Like, here's what I can do for you. It's always give me a handout, put me on, do this, instead of actually saying, here's what I can do for you. And if I do this for you, can you do that? You know what I mean? It's an exchange of value. The problem with a lot of people is they just want, they think because somebody hits a certain level of fame and fortune that they think that they're entitled to that too because they know the person.
That's true.
If you didn't help them get there, they don't owe you anything. It's the problem is people don't want to exchange value nowadays. People just want a handout, and that's the problem. And that kind of goes back to that point. So
the hand me out shit doesn't do nothing.
No, it doesn't, man. It doesn't. I could do a whole episode on that too. But back to this Travis Hunter thing. It's like I'm just on the outside looking in here, but from my observations, the kid has to be very, very careful because and protect himself, protect his assets, and just have an honest conversation with this girl. Even though like a lot of people have assumptions about her, have an honest conversation about this girl. And better if she gives you an attitude and she starts yelling at you and doing all this other stuff. Look, it's not productive conversation. It's like at the end of the day,
let her know how you feel. Yeah,
have a real let her know your thoughts. Have a real direct conversation with her.
Be upfront.
And she might not be happy at first, but then let everything cool off. Come back to it. Look, if she still is a certain way, like he says, I don't want you to sign a prenup, and she starts acting a certain way, then I mean, you kind of get everything you need to know out of that. She said she wants a baby rookie year, and she wants a marriage rookie year. I mean, if you really love the guy, why does it matter so quickly?
Right.
Because she thinks she's gonna find somebody else. I mean, it's
Well, that's the thing. If they're in a hurry to get a baby, that means that you want to get a baby so they can be locked in for life. See, don't you get it? That's how it is. I mean,
They
but
want it early. So I mean, it's just a lot of red flags, man. And
different whole ball game, man. He needs to just chill for a little bit and just take his time. The best advice, if I was to actually, if they pay me to give him advice, I'd just be like, just take your time, really, because trust me, I've seen situations. I myself dated girls. Sometimes when I move too fast, and he never really goes to. At the end of the day, it doesn't always go well. I think girls, they take their time more and understand you, and you get to vibe more with them, and they pick your mind a little more. You pick your brain, you pick their brain a little, and you go kind of settles in a little and understand what you want from each other and where you're gonna go with it. Like, okay, we're gonna go with this little, have some conversation every now and then. Those are the ones that it kind of goes a little more well and it goes better, and they last longer usually too. So those kind of relationship with women and all, even in my experience. So I don't know, Travis Hunter, he's doing well. I mean, he's got the money now, but like you said, it's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna come that might not be there for him. I always hear he's saying, but he's got him, Hassan Campbell. He goes like this. He says, he always says, pay attention to your surroundings and pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. I repeat that. Pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. So, I mean, you got to keep a good circle around you. It goes back to saying that don't have yes men around, don't have weird dudes, weasels, people don't steal your shine, haters. It's a lot of undercover haters, too.
yes, there are, man. That's why it's good to
see the right people.
That's why it's good to be able to read social cues and kind of vet correctly, right? And that's a skill that can't be taught through making money or getting in good shape. That's why I said you're leveling up certain areas of your life, but being able to communicate and have boundaries and just effectively communicate with those around you, it goes a long way. And that's a skill that is very hard to put a price on because it's something that's very, very important. A lot of us, though, we struggle from an early age, right? It happens in the household, happens in school. We don't speak up. We kind of get our concerns, our voice it's not really heard. And the problem with that is it leads to problems down the line. So, but it all kind of starts, strong role models. They're going to hold you accountable. When I say strong, I mean like emotionally intelligent men, not just physically strong, not just jacked and physical. It's good to have a good body. Your body's your temple. You should be healthy. Build a nice body for yourself. But it's not just the physical side of it, because when we look at strong, masculine men, what are you going to see if you go into Google? You're probably going to see a big, strong superhero, jack dude, all this stuff. That's great. But, one of the things that's not talked about is emotional intelligence and emotional, emotional intelligence from a lot of men, which is very, very important.
Emotional, sort of like mental intelligence in the sense that, like, think quick, not like mental, like your mind, being your mind too, but I mean, like, being witty and thinking quickly and, sharp and, reading the room, reading situations, being, street smart and like life smart and just kind of like relationship, sort of like network, smart a little bit too. You don't gotta be necessarily like know a lot about like real estate, about credit scores, about financial stuff to just know how to network well though in this kind of environments. Even if you don't, you can't invest right away, you're not at quite the level. If you know how to network, bro, it's like you know how to keep up. And from there, you meet people, get that card, you present yourself, so knowing how to do that, bro, that's also a skill, like you said. Being emotionally intelligent, not being too much in your feelings right away. I mean, everybody, we have our times. Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're sad, sometimes we got situations going on, but be able to hold frame and not let things get to you. Just be really a little thick-skinned. That's also important to know in life, and like not to get drawn in too much and not too sucked in your feelings, in your mind, because it's a world that everybody wants to get. There's too much going on. There's a lot of hate, a lot of BS, a lot of cancel culture, a lot of people too much offended and all this. So it's very easy to get caught up in the politics and in all this extra stuff, is crap going on, so to speak. For lack of better terms, it's kind of like very social aware and Curtis Mayfield, culture, this kind of materialistic consumer culture. It is very much social media driven and hookup culture and who got this and who's girl. It's all about someone steals somebody's girl. It's like competition, a lot of mysteries going on, a lot of people, a lot of fake shit, even in the celebrity world. And that's what it is, it's celebrity stuff. I mean, it's a little bit of gossip, not, we don't really gossip in the show, but we're just kind of mentioning a hot topic, but it's just, unfortunately, it's what it is, man. It's a lot of, all the female rappers, they're saying that they all sound the same, but the problem is everybody wants to gossip and wants to not be original and want to copy from what's going on. That's the problem. People are not really, taking enough originality and creativity to the next level.
Yeah. And people like to throw the terms around. Like I said, this isn't a gossip show.
Oh, God,
it's not a gossip podcast. Anything like that. Like you said, it's a hot topic that's out there. And what this ultimately relates to is it relates to the topic of personal development, right? You know, bettering
Yeah,
yourself as a
for
man,
sure,
having
he
a
does.
house.
Mhm.
So it ties into what we speak about here, because this definitely is not a gossip podcast. It is not, but so as I said, I made this claim multiple times. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. This dude's a fucking
Yeah.
simp. This dude's that. It's not me from the judgment aspect. It's just me from the observation aspect. I don't personally know the kid, and I don't. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge viewer of college football, so you know. But I've just seen the circulating around. I did a little research on it, and it was just something that kind of
Trending
relates
story.
to personal development.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
trending.
trending story. A lot of people are talking about this right now, and a lot of people have actually brought this to me. I love that I do have people that, you know, text me or tell me different things. Somebody actually texted me this morning, not on this, but on like a political topic. Something different. You know, they sent me an episode from a different podcast and said this could be a great topic for show. I appreciate that. And I love that. You know what I mean?
Good.
Like
I said, definitely good content, Steve. I think it's a pretty good topic, and like you said, man, these things, it's purely, guys, for those that are watching. If you're just tuning in the show, we've been talking about Travis Hunter and a little bit of, you know, not having the wrong people around you, just being life smart, being a young guy. In his case, he's actually way younger than both of us. I mean, you know, we're both in our 30s, but he's actually in his early 20s. So we just kind of like, you know, talked a little bit about that, and we touched on different sub matters and sub subjects, or according, you know, revolving this topic. But also, like you said, you know, having the right people around, you know what I mean? And everyday life, man, it all ties up to personal development, because having a mentor, being with the right people. Earlier, I spoke to a friend of mine, man. He's telling me, you know, we had a good call about some business and all that. You know, some good stuff. You know, it was like trying to, you know, stay connected with my friends that live in other cities, and it's about networking, it's about growing every year, planting the seeds just before the year starts. You know, before the new year. You know, it's almost, we're at the very end of 2024, guys. It's, you know, it's 2024. It's about to be a wrap. It's a couple of days left, December 27th, and 2025 is at the door. You know, so you know what I mean. Captain Smart.
Exactly. This kind of goes into a new year, right? You know, have some self-respect for yourself, and we got a lot of good things actually coming to the end of the year here. I know we said 45 minutes, and we're over it right here, so
it's okay.
We'll end.
We'll end in a few. We can end in 3 minutes if you want. It's up to you, bro. I'm not really in a hurry, but we can end in a few minutes. You know.
Yeah. We actually have a good content schedule coming up too. See if I can actually pull something up real quick.
Yeah, you know, because I haven't been on the podcast too much lately, but I've been keeping up with what's coming up. So let's see what's coming up next a little bit. If you got anything you're gonna promote, if you don't do anything, because I actually might want to do some.
Yeah, and I'll probably bring you in for one or two of these episodes too.
Yeah, bring me in. Let me know. You know, like I said, I'll be around.
Yeah, let me pull this up.
The birthday's coming up, so I'm so busy, and today was just a day.
Oh, here it is. Let me see. I'm gonna pull this picture up. This is actually going to break down our content schedule here. So let me give you guys a little walkthrough here. Hit that share button.
An exciting 5, huh? Coming events.
There. Here we go. So let me know. Can you guys see that? Is it sharing? Let me actually.
So
actually see something. Oh wait, hold on. Is it sharing or no? Let me it might not have been sharing. Give me 1 second. I understand.
Today's the next Thursday you'll be back.
Yep. Exactly.
I might be able to come next Thursday. Let me know. I mean, we'll see what's going on. We'll talk behind the scenes too, but either way,
we'll be back. Yeah, definitely.
A lot going on in the world, bro. It's the end of the year, man. We can do like a finish off even on a recap. I mean, definitely a hell of a year, you know. A lot's going on, back and forth.
It is. Can you see the screen at all? Let me see.
No, actually, I can't see. Oh, hold on. People keep texting. I don't understand why I'm getting texts when I'm doing the show. But so I'm trying to see the screen there, but I didn't see nothing come up on the screen. I like the background you posted. It looks like we're like in a nice little office there too. Pretty cool shit, bro.
Let me see. Thanks, man. Thanks. Let me see.
It looks good. Bro.
Let me see if I can.
Take your time. It's all good. No hurry.
Oh, that's weird.
About
that is weird.
7-11, 7-12. Yo, the day's going by quick, man. I mean, the year's gonna be wrapped soon, man. We definitely, we got to try to link up before the year's over, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely do.
See what's up with the squad. Check out.
So it's weird. Let me see. Let me you know what? Let me see something. Let me see, because I know you're on your phone, so it might not actually be able to see it. You might not
Oh,
actually
maybe
be able
that's
to
what
see
it
it the
is.
same way. Let's see.
Maybe I'm blocking it, or because our screen, or are you going to put it? Are you going to share the screen?
Oh, it's not showing it. Really, really weird. Let me see if I can
It's not showing anything. I don't see anything, bro.
get out. I'm in
I
like a
don't see
full screen mode here, so I'm in a full screen mode. So let me see if I can get out of this full screen mode and come back to the. Why did I go into full screen mode here? Oh, it actually zoomed me in further. let me see if I can go out. No, it won't let me. I'm in like a full screen mode that I can't get out of here. Really, really weird. Never seen this
Well,
before.
I mean, look, bro. If it takes too long, it's fine. If you can't figure it out, I mean, if you're not just kind of like sort of like say orally, just kind of like just kind of basically say some stuff and talk a little bit about maybe touch on some of the episodes, or if you know the titles or whatever, it's fine. If not, either or is good. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to necessarily put it on the screen. I don't know if it's my screen. I mean, I can see you clear. I can hear everything like bingo. It's just completely 100% great, but I just don't see no screen coming up with or no schedule or no PowerPoint type of screen. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's probably the app. It's all
yeah,
good. By the way, this is a great app.
yeah.
You're right, though. I like this app a lot, man. For the first time, I gotta just say it. I don't take the time to say it. It's a good app for sure. I love StreamYard, but this is a
Yeah,
good app.
definitely.
No, it definitely is, though.
Thanks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to let me see if I can like stop my video then come back on. Really weird. Yeah, usually you can hit the escape key. For some reason it's not allowing me to do that. I'm like stuck in like this full screen mode, and I think that's
knows,
what's kind of
man?
throwing the
Technology can be
that's
back
what I
and
think
forth
is kind of
sometimes.
screwing and share. Yeah, it's kind of screwing over my ability to share anything because of that. I'm in like a screwed up mode. Share into EP.
Oh man, my fucking head is hurting.
Auto add screen to video. So let me see now. Let me just see real quick. This will be my last time trying it. If not, it's all good. This is my last time trying this. If it doesn't, it is what it is.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
There it is. All right. Let's see.
All right, guys. So this is the upcoming content schedule for January. So right after New Year's next week on Thursday, we're going to have a mental health episode. We're going to have one or two guests coming on for that who actually work in those fields. We like to cover these around this time of year because it's the start of a new year. So we're going to talk about that. In 2 weeks, the Eagles are going to be jumping into the playoffs. So we're obviously going to be talking about that as we'll see what they're looking like, where they're seated. In 2 weeks, we'll be doing that. It'll be on a Thursday. It'll be on the 9th. Episode 199. We're actually going to have a licensed tax professional come on here, and they're going to talk about. It's going to be essentially a tax talk episode. What we're going to be talking about is the different tax brackets, filing tips, etc., things along those lines. Should be a great episode. We never really did that since tax season's coming up. Big one there, and then we're actually going to have episode 200 on the 23rd. So we'll probably just do like a celebration special type of episode for that. And then after that, I haven't really put on here, but we'll have on the 30th. Something that's going to be the 30th, or it might be the Wednesday, the 29th.
You know what, dude?
We're going to have
we probably could have a little meeting and talk about it, maybe set up some more episodes. But that's actually some very good content and very good upcoming list of events and a table of contents. And I forgot, you know what, dude? Because I haven't been to podcast in so long like that, or at least not consistently. So 200 is coming up in January, just so people are familiar. That's a milestone, 200 episodes. Okay.
Yep, January 2025. Yep, it's going to be episode 200.
January
200,
what?
man. Essentially,
January 20th?
Yep. January 23rd.
January 23rd, 2025. Nice. That's good. Yeah, I should be able to make that one too. But sounds good, bro. Definitely some good stuff, man. Hold on a second. Okay, I don't know why these got so big. There we go.
That'll be a good
I
one.
have to adjust my screen. No, I like this thing. Definitely a very nice app too. Actually, not bad to good to kind of move around a little bit as well. But also before we kind of like start wrapping it up and all that, I do want to what's it called? Just give a little shout out to my man Rich Allen, and also he's a company, Credit Boys LLC. If you guys need credit scores, credit checks, and some helps and tips and all, check them out. I will definitely be bringing them on the podcast, and I'm actually gonna let you know, Steve. One thing I'm meaning to talk to you about as well. We had some stuff going on, so I didn't really see this week, but we're gonna talk about that, and also check out his food truck in he's gonna try to start one in the Philly area, also in the Atlanta area. I think it's called Allen's Food Truck. So It's a good one, man. Like I said, I'll post something about that as well on my story. We could talk about it in another episode as well, but it's some good stuff. So be on the lookout for some good stuff, man. Definitely linking out, bringing some great guests on here. Of course, we had Bryce earlier this year, right? You had Bryce on there one time, right,
Yep.
Steve?
Yep.
Bring Bryce
was
again.
on here, yep.
Rob is pretty much a regular. Rob LaVentura, you know, Rob Love, aka Rob LaVentura. But you know, Rob comes all the time, so you know he's a more consistent and at this point like part of the panel guest. You know how Joe Rogan got his few friends that come there all the time. Then he's got 3 that are pretty much like always there, and then he's got like some very common guests. Well, you know, I mean, even Kevin Hart and The Rock are becoming pretty much regulars on on Joe Rogan's show. You know, who else is like almost like a regular like Dana White, of course. He's part of the whole group. You know.
Of course.
Trump was there recently too. Like he was there like this year.
Yeah, he was. Man, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting for sure. Big year coming up, man. Can't believe it's on this. But yeah, a lot of main time behind the scenes, guys. You know, obviously part of this team. You know, Rob, Rich, Marius, all them guys. They're a part of this as well. Well, yeah,
so
I can't. I'm like stuck on the full screen. I'm stuck on the full screen, so I can't see the time or anything on here.
It's an hour and 57 seconds. So we're
okay.
Actually, let me see. I don't know how to make a full screen on this, John. To be honest with you.
Yeah, don't even do it. It's like screwed me, so I got stuck in this. So I know not to do that again. I don't know. It's probably something on my end too. I'm just not. This is only the second time I'm using this.
Yeah, you could turn it a little bit like this, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fuck with it, bro. But anyway, did you? I don't remember last week. I think I did watch a little bit last week and one before that. I don't think you had you didn't have a guest last week though. I don't remember you having a guest. I don't
not
think
last week. Not last week. It was just essentially how to de-stress and decompress during the holidays. It was just me for that one last week.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. Yeah, I remember watching. Oh yeah, that's right. De-stress for the holiday. That was actually a pretty good episode. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched a little bit. It was actually pretty good. I remember, and then I watched a little after, like on a rebroadcast and all. But it's been some great podcasts out there, bro. It's a lot of podcasts going on, bro. It's like it's literally after I would say 2021 and post 2021. That's when podcasting hit through the roof. It's almost like every entertainer, celebrity got a podcast or he's invited to a podcast. It's just so much potential. There's so many shows, bro. It really is.
It really is. You're absolutely right. But I guess we can wrap up here, man. Before it goes.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we'll wrap
pretty
up
good
here.
so far.
It was a Friday night episode. So thanks for everyone who tuned in because we did have some people watching. I saw that there were people watching, even though there weren't any comments. Let me just check on Facebook before we end. But I did not see anything on. Yeah, I see we have 20 views on Facebook on the one, and then we got 15 on the other. So a lot of views here, a lot of views on YouTube. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Even if you're watching on the rebroadcast, after you're watching the post live stream, after it already was posted, feel free to comment, and if you're watching on Spotify or Anchor, hit that download button, to download our episodes. It helps us out with the algorithm, and anything on Facebook or YouTube, I will answer. So after the fact,
like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell and all that, guys. You can also, like Steve said, you can watch Spotify 24 hours later. So like tomorrow, you could be, it's available on Spotify for audio only. Check us out. We're growing for sure, man. Well, definitely, Steve. I mean, it was been a pleasure, bro. Thanks for having me again, man. It was definitely great. It felt great to be back there. A little bit like the old days. I'll let you know. Maybe I could come next week. But we'll figure it out. We'll talk more. And hit me up. I guess one of these days we'll definitely meet up. But it was definitely great doing this, guys. Thanks for watching as well. Happy New Year. I mean, man, this be a great year, man. 2025, be the best you can be. Go forward. Always maintain. Always go forward. Exactly. Pressure.
2025, stay alive and thrive. I don't know. I'll come up with some type of catchy saying.
2025.
2025 is our year to thrive. There you go.
It's our year to thrive. Yeah, I like that. That could be the one for 20. Every year we got a nice little saying that goes a logo, like a little mini, tiny little motto that we put, like you said. So. Yeah, I like that.
We used to do 2022. We used to say 2022, be true and be you. Remember?
It's been 2 years now, going on 3 years real soon. So, yeah.
Yeah, 2022. Yeah, be true and be you.
Cool. Time goes fast, bro. But, I mean, It's gonna be a hell of a New Year's Eve, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to finishing the year strong, bro, and hopefully you have a great rest of the holiday, my dude. I'll definitely see you, man, as well, and definitely good stuff, man. I actually thought it was a pretty good topic, I'm glad we could cover a little bit on that. We got some people to take a look as well. What's it called? That's kind of play by ear, see what's going on, man. I mean, shit, guys. Real estate spots, we got them. Car dealerships and cars, we know where to get them, So being tuned for some nice episodes, we'll be talking about these things a little more. Definitely doing some mini promo as well. And actually, the next episode, it sounds cool, bro. I'm actually excited about that too. So as well as 200. I mean, I know it's a couple weeks away. I don't want to get carried away too quickly, but I mean, it sounds amazing. 200 though. So
yeah, man, I'll have to have you in there for that one.
yeah.
Yes, sir. That'll be a big one. But guys, as George said, hope you guys have a great holiday season. I hope you guys so far, and Happy New Year, and have a blessed New Year, because we're going to see you on the other side. When we are on here, it will be on the other side of the New Year. So just from my family to yours, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Have a happy
you and your families.
And again, it's our time to thrive in 2025. So here we come.
Sounds good to me. All righty.
That being said, guys, have a great night, great weekend. See you next week. Episode 197. George, it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. All right, bro. Later.
Peace.
Peace, guys.